Even with some kind of waka around the benefit of Nigeria, when say they join and sign the African Continent Free Trade Agreement, AfCFTA, the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, he don't say the new trade agreement will boost the country export by 8%. Our business talk person, Irene Obani, he yarn with the Oga of Research, Augusto and Company, Jimmy Ubobine, for this matter and plenty.
It's been an interesting conversation. It's also been very controversial. You've had the pros and the cons. And initially, those who were opposed and against it seemed to have their way. When sometime last year, when the president was on his way to Rwanda to sign it, the trip was controversially called off. And then this time around, Nigeria took its time, read the agreement, studied it, and then we've gone into it, we've signed it. Firstly, I would like to say that at Augusto and Co, our position is that we support it. Principally because of one reason. The world has not gone poorer as a result of free trade agreements. Free trade agreement has only led to greater prosperity across the globe than increased poverty, whether it's in the US, whether it's in the EU. Free trade only increases prosperity rather than poverty because it opens markets up and it increases competition. And when you stimulate competition in any economy, you only grow the pie rather than restrict the pie or constrict the pie. So for Nigeria, for instance, now, with the largest market in Africa, either by geography, either by population or by GDP size, and we've been quite nervous and we've not behaved like a giant, so to say, in all of these. We've been quite nervous around the possibilities of what the free trade agreement would bring. But I would dare say that we'll be better off for it. Because if you look at 95% of our export earnings comes from oil, which means that only 5% comes from non-oil. And what this free trade agreement does is that it opens up an export market to us. Okay. Some would argue that it also opens us up as an import market from the rest of Africa. But yes, that's true. But who does free trade hurt? So you can export and they can also import to you. So it's a game plan. And you have to learn to compete, basically. So there's no doubt about the fact that we would have to learn to compete.
How ready do you think we are for such competition? At least to be at the winning end?
If you look at it from the infrastructural side of things, we would never be ready. We'll probably not even be ready in a century's time. So we have to force readiness, basically. We have to force readiness because the world won't wait for anybody. The world will not wait for Nigeria. So Nigeria, if this is a way to force readiness, then so be it.